Hello and welcome to My Spirit Fitness Radio. This is a platform created to empower you to live a healthier, happier, and more inspired life. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm so excited. We get to explore ways to cultivate mind, body, spirit awareness so that we can convert setbacks into bountiful reward. Hi, I'm your host, Felicia Love. I am a self-help author, mind-body expert, certified fitness professional, and college educator. I guess you would say my students and clients would refer to me as a sculptor of mind and body.
It's another fantastic day. Thanks so much for joining us here at My Fitness Radio. I'm your host, Felicia Love. Such a glorious day today. I'm so excited to have you join me again for another fantastic episode of How to Become Your Own Personal Trainer. I tell you, that subject never grows old. There's so much information to share with you. I am going to share actually some information that I was able to capture just over the last 24 hours. I'm going to talk today about the very first question a personal trainer would ask you. Well, we ask so many questions. Let me back up to say one of the primary questions a personal trainer might ask you, and that is, what would you like to accomplish? It's a loaded question, folks, because today's show is going to open your eyes to a whole new perspective. What would you like to accomplish? Okay, so if you're sitting down and talking about some of your goals with a professional, personal trainer or fitness professional, you might see entries like gain weight, lose weight, build more muscle mass, strengthen your core, or get those washboard abs. You might see agility, speed training, cardiovascular exercise, endurance training. Yeah, you get the picture, okay? So the list goes on and on. So you get the picture. So among those things, what would you like to accomplish? So you'd go and you'd start checking things. Well, I want to gain weight. I want to build more muscle mass. And I just want to look more fit. Okay? That might be a few entries that you might consider. Then the personal trainer would proceed to tell you exactly what you need to do in order to achieve that goal. Now, what is customary is that we include your cardiovascular training, your weight training, flexibility, and we talk a little bit about nutrition so that you will achieve your goal in a healthy way. All right? Then we would proceed to give you an exercise prescription. Now, some personal trainers might rip and read. That is, they may look on the internet to find the next last hottest thing and give you a copy of those series of exercises and send you on your way. Others might have their own formula, their own exercise prescription that they favorite. And I think I spoke to that a couple of shows ago. Be leery of those trainers who only give you exercises that they like because they could very well be rip and read exercise prescriptions. So ask questions. But anyway, you get an exercise prescription. Okay. And then they send you on your way. Well, what I've found in my experience doing personal training is that our clients, we're not really in tune with our clients, okay? And for whatever reason. And there's some very good reasons out there, perhaps, for some trainers. But the reason why I decided to teach on a college level so that I'd have a captured audience to really teach them how to become healthy and well and teach them more about the fitness and wellness industry from not only a consumer perspective, but from the perspective of taking control of their own lives. So the reason why I did that is because the bottom line is that we want you to walk away happy, right? So whether that exercise prescription does it for you or not in terms of achieving your goals is not as important as you walking away with an end result of happiness. Would you agree? Having said that, instead of asking you what you would like to accomplish from a long list of things, why not ask the first question, what makes you feel most comfortable in your skin? What would we need to do in order to move you toward that end result? When you really think about it, what makes me feel comfortable in my skin? If you ask yourself that question, what would you come up with? Let's see. What makes me feel comfortable in my skin? Wearing clothes well. I love fashion, so I love to look good in what I wear. Looking good, okay, so there's one. And feeling even better makes me feel comfortable in my skin because, you know, a person can look good but feel like crap on the inside, right? And if you feel like crap on the inside, no matter if it's, you know, physical discomfort or mental discomfort or spiritual discomfort, you're going to convey that in those beautiful clothes, aren't you? You're going to have a, you know, little funky look on your face or look disturbed or irritated or whatever the case may be. So the primary question I think you should ask yourself in becoming your own personal trainer is, what do I need to feel comfortable in my own skin? So that really puts us down to the root of the issue, the root of the challenge, as opposed to just thinking of health and wellness in terms of the physical sense. That's going to bring you to some things that you might not even want to think about. What are you self-conscious about? You know, what are your fears? Are you afraid of falling short of your expectations, or, oh, even worse, falling short of someone else's expectations? Ah! That is truly the way we drive our lives, isn't it? Think about it. We are afraid of falling short of our spouse's expectations or our significant other or our family. We're afraid of falling short of our, supervisor or partner's expectations or consumer's patience, you know? So, yeah, there's a lot of anxiety there. But at the end of the day, what will get you to feel most comfortable in your own skin? You know, after every show, I've said, act as though you love yourself. Treat yourself as though you love yourself. And I know some of you were snickling. I know you were. Like, what is she talking about? Well, guess what? I found a delightful article that I want to share with you today that makes me feel even better about telling you to love on yourself, to act as though you love yourself. This article is entitled, How to Comfort Yourself. Why is it so hard to be your own best friend? And this is written by Dr. Likerman from Psychology Today. Oh, go figure. I want to hug him. But in his article, I won't read the whole thing. Actually, I'll provide the website link on my website so that you can read up for yourself. But he says preliminary data suggests that self-compassion can even influence how we eat, and it may help some people lose weight. This idea seems to be at odds with some advice dispensed by many doctors, self-help books, and I might interject, the fitness industry, because we all suggest that willpower and self-discipline are the keys to better health. Thank you so much, Dr. Likerman. I just love you. That is so true, and that's one reason why I decided to do this podcast. It's the reason why I decided to start teaching people how to become self-empowered. I'm so excited. I'm on the right track. This works. Dr. Likerman also talks about a blogger. He referenced, actually, Tara Parker Pope. She has a blog called Well in the New York Times, on the New York Times website, that is. And Ms. Pope also talks about Dr. Kristen Neff, who is a professor at University of Texas at Austin. So she is the one, actually, who's come up with this self-compassion test that Tara talks about. So thank you all for your contribution on this subject, your contribution of getting people self-empowered. I really appreciate that. Now, I haven't read Dr. Neff's work, but I absolutely will. After this episode, I'm going to get on the website and start to read up on her work, because after reading, the article in Psychology Today, I've gotten even more fired up, even more inspired. Speaking of which, someone else who's fired up is Karen Bromfitt. Now, she has started this self-image campaign, which I have to tell you, when I saw her pictures, I thought, oh my gosh, not only is she nude, but it's tastefully done. I wasn't offended at all. And she looks great both before and after in terms of the pictures that she plays on her website. So she's got me fired up all over again as well. Taryn has decided to redefine beauty in her own way, and she's doing a documentary, which I wish her so much success on. As a matter of fact, I'm so fired up, I'm going to reach out to her and see if I can get her on the show. Who knows? I'll ask and see what happens, but I think that will be an awesome show to get her to come on and talk about body image, her body image movement, as a matter of fact. This is really interesting, because for the last, I would say, 10 years, I have been putting together this project called the Self-Portrait. And I would give it to my clients to get them to understand what their values are and to find out whether or not their values were in line with their behavior. And that assessment would get me some leverage in getting them on track with their fitness program. So the self-portrait evolved. I used it as a tool in the classroom for my college students over the last 7 years. And I'm so proud of that assessment tool, because it gives me an opportunity to show students how they view their body image, how they view the world around them, and whether or not they have figured out in their young minds how to get in alignment with their true self. Every semester I'll ask my students to let me know if there's any project that I give them that, they felt was, busy work, or, something that wasn't valid about the particular project. And my portrait has by far been one of the favorites of all of my students. I am excited to kind of compare this project, which is actually going to be published this year in a very few weeks. As a matter of fact, I'm going to offer excerpts from my self-portrait free as an ebook to get your feedback as well. But I'm also going to provide the entire book. I'm going to publish it, okay? I'm just so excited. I am so excited, because this means that I'm on track, and I'm sorry, I'm getting off task, but I'm kind of doing my woohoo dance with the fact that in my own small part of the world, other people are connecting to the same desires that I have, and that is to empower people about their own body image, about their own values, and to become champions in their own lives, and not, really depend so much upon a personal trainer or someone else to do the work that really comes from the inside. So thanks, Taryn, and hopefully we'll be able to chat. I'm going to reach out to her for sure. Let me share a couple of things with you that I've found personally from teaching the college courses that I teach, which, by the way, you probably don't know this, but I teach yoga, beginning yoga, intermediate yoga, step aerobics, weight training, Pilates, Tayo, my gosh, all kinds of sculpting classes. You name it, I do it. So in a few of these courses, I introduce the self-portrait. And what I've found over the years that's very interesting is that, and I want to share this with you, is that some students, so there's this one question that I asked in the self-portrait, and I asked them to present a picture of how they perceive themselves now and how they would like to perceive themselves or see themselves in the near future. So I give them approximately a year. What's very interesting is that I'll get students who will show pictures of themselves that are more exaggerated. So they exaggerate the body parts that they're self-conscious about in the way they perceive themselves. I also see pictures of morbidly obese figures. Sometimes they're cartoon pictures. Sometimes they're pictures of, that they found on Google or whatever. And what saddens me is that I know for sure that these students do not look the way they perceive themselves in their self-portrait. So that lets me know a couple of things. That lets me know that they perceive themselves in a way that is disjointed from who they really are. And it lets me know that hopefully by the end of that self-portrait, they'll have a few aha moments. The picture in the future for most students, by far, is a picture that has been paintbrushed of a model that is nowhere near their body type. Now, I think in episode 1 or 2, I talk about the morph family and mesomorph, ectomorph, and endomorph. And I tell you, as listeners, to think about, to identify what your body type might look like. And I also shared with you myshape.com, which has, silhouettes of body types and more body types to consider. So I do the same for my students. And inevitably, they come up with some, intangible body type that they want to look like. But the self-portrait it gets them back to perspective. So that's just the first slide. And I suppose that just that exercise speaks to Taryn Brumfitt's whole campaign on body image and getting people to embrace who they are and how they're packaged, no matter how they're packaged. If you have a little fluffiness around the belly or more around the thighs or arms, to embrace yourself. My hope is that people will start to use more positive reinforcement rather than negative reinforcement. The negative reinforcement for me personally, and, I don't speak for everyone on the planet, I do know this, but the negative reinforcement in many ways for me belongs, in the military, because if you mess up, you die. That's the bottom line there. But I think as far as, personal training and being in the fitness industry, yes, if people don't start to eat healthy and start to exercise, they shorten their opportunity for long life. We know that. But I don't think that it needs to be a scare tactic. I think we have enough of that going on. I think what we need to concentrate on is, embracing who we are, and loving ourselves and becoming not only our own best friend, but learning how to parent ourselves. Because many of the people who come to me are, young adults or, adults. And so young adults in the college spectrum or adults as clients who come to me. And we've gotten away from parenting ourselves. So think about it. For the most part, the mother is the nurturer, right? So if you were nurturing yourself as your ideal mother, notice I said that, as your ideal mother, you might say to yourself, more kind words. You might be more direct, but loving, okay? The father would, okay, so I'm falling into this traditional, I really don't want to go there, but I'm going to do it anyway just to prove this point. The father might be the person who's analytical or responsible for, the accomplishment of an outcome or a goal. So all of us have mother energy and father energy in us, male and female energy in us. So it's up to us to tap into that male and female energy so that we become more balanced. And in order to become more balanced, we have to recognize that it's not a person outside of us who has the answer. It's actually inside of us. We actually have the answer to nurture ourselves to better health and to come up with tangible outcomes for ourselves to feel more empowered. I hope that makes sense. I was giggling because I was kind of getting into that whole male-female, characteristics, and we've certainly blurred the lines with that spectrum. So I was giggling because I kind of dug myself a hole that I really didn't want to get into. Girls are soft and the boys are tough. I didn't want to get into that. So I think I tap danced away from that pretty well. So what do we do with all of this information? We transform. We transform. That's the answer. We learn how to brand ourselves as perfectly beautiful individuals in the package that we come in with, the intelligence that we have, and with the willpower and strength that we have cultivated so far on this journey. We become empowered because we know we can have more spiritual willpower, and we can have more intelligence just by embracing the ideas that others have already put forth, and the knowledge that we have around us available to us. So rather than expecting, a person, place, or thing to assist us in our own development, why not become more proactive in the steps to own our own empowerment? So branding ourselves means that we'll work with it, we'll work whatever it is that's going to allow us to feel comfortable in our own skin. We'll work it into our daily life. We'll live it, we'll sleep it, we'll become it. We'll become more independent as opposed to dependent in our lives. We'll project our strengths, and we'll become our own best friend and our own personal trainers in life. I'm going to pause for a moment and draw your attention to what it means to transform. It means to move yourself toward your highest good. It means to embrace all that is positive and in you, about you, around you. If we concentrate on flabby thighs, a crooked nose, imperfect feet, the size of our breast or lack thereof, then it becomes larger in our minds. If we concentrate on those characteristics and attributes that we have that bring us joy, we learn how to enhance that. And as we enhance what's beautiful about us, it becomes larger than life. It becomes something that others smile around us because we feel so empowered. You know, I can't tell you how many hearts I have broken as a personal trainer because people come to me wanting larger boobs or a bigger tush. You know, that's the fad now, by the way. It absolutely is. This generation wants smaller waistline and larger hips to the tune of 10-inch difference. So, you know, or not 10, maybe 20-inch difference. Heck, if I had known that, I wouldn't have worked so hard trying to lose my tush. But anyway, but I've broken so many hearts because people, for some reason, want to fit in this small box that society has deemed beautiful. And I've had to tell them, you know, you weren't born with that. The only way to that is an implant or your own, you know, your own imagination. I have become so much more empowered now in that I can share with the world that you can be so happy if you just embrace the intricate beauty that you were blessed with. We're not designed to fit a cookie-cutter image that society says that we have to. We are designed to become part of the whole, beautiful and perfect the way we are. I'm Felicia Love with My Spirit Fitness Radio. You rock. Thanks so much for joining me. I will see you next time. And move forward with transformation. Onward and upward. Have a great day.
I'm Felicia Love, your mind, body, spirit fitness expert. I hope that you'll include me in your New Year's resolution. Remain connected to your education, inspiration, and empowerment. Thanks so much for joining me. Namaste.